See, I'm as real as they get. I'm not the person that's going to pretend. I'm not the person that's going to paint a picture to you. I'm going to give you the real. I'm going to show you what's really happening. I'm going to tell you why daughters need fathers. I'm going to tell you why you need to get back with your baby daddy. I'm not going to throw no title on my name. I don't need to get a building in order to have a church. Church is right here because I'm going to pierce your motherfucking heart. And I'm going to show you what's really happening out here. See, Wednesday is different than the Millionaire Morning Show because the Millionaire Morning Show, I'm going to teach you how to get to the money, but then I got to get to that 30 million myself because I need that endorsement. I need that sponsorship. I need that big machine to go ahead and throw that money behind us. But on Wednesday night, we get a little different around here. And so we're going to hold each other accountable and we're going to absolutely have the right type of conversations. Fuck your love language. It don't mean nothing to me. It don't mean nothing to me. It falls on deaf ears, and I don't even know why you continue to embrace something that's not best for you. Our cultural norms have been programmed into us, and now you think that it means something to you because it made you feel a certain type of way based off of what was presented to you in the movies, in the books, on social media, and now it's easy for you to fall victim to the things that's happening in the music, and now you're starting to put it into your kids because it was put into you, because your parents was weak and they didn't stay together, and Big Mama was cheating on Big Daddy, and they tried to hide it from you, and instead of giving you the life lessons based off of what it is that they've learned, they started to lie to you because they wanted to give you the presentation layer. And so now we got Big Mama's house where Big Mama's at the front of the table and she's the one that's controlling the family, and you thought that it was kosher to give your finances over to a woman and let her manage it, and now she out of order, calling herself prophetess and walking across the pulpit, putting her hands on people and having them laid out. You think it makes sense now because everything starts to make sense based off of what you've embraced and what your cultural norm is. We're going to reset. We're going to start to have a different type of conversation. We're going to get things back in order. Right? We're not going to start to continue to build on a house of sand. We're not going to continue to have conversations based off of what we think. We're going to lean into what we know. You ready? You ready to have a conversation? Let's talk about love and basketball. It's funny. It's funny. It's hilarious to me. Because everybody breaks down love and basketball and they seen it one way or they seen it another way. In one instance, they seen it as a love story surrounding sports and basketball and women empowerment, right? And a home based off of two wealthy people. And they tried to paint you a narrative that helps you to see things and you fell in love. And so usually what happens is the woman loved the story, the guy loved basketball, but he really trying to get inside of her panties. I'm talking about y'all watching the movie right now, right? And so you endure through it, but then you start to watch it because it's actually entertaining and it was written as a good script, right? And so while you was waiting to get in the chick's pants, and this is back in the day when Love and Basketball first came out, while you was waiting to get in the chick's pants, you actually realized that it was a decent enough movie. And we like Omar Epps because he was in Too Deep and he was in Juice. You know what I'm saying? And Sanaa Lathan. We see you, baby girl, and you can dribble a little bit. Okay, I feel you. But then I heard somebody say something on Monday on the panel and they said, oh my God, and I can't believe it. And he wanted her to break her curfew and all of this other type of stuff. That's funny because I seen it a little bit differently. You know what I see women do? They skip over the fact that she disrespected her mother because her mother was the one that was holding down the household, and because her mother made the sacrifice in order to ensure that her daughters was taken care of. That's actually a reflection of how you see motherhood today. See, women is really the ones that's the biggest perpetuators of the things that's the worst for us. And you know why? Because they're the ones that call women pick-me's. They're the ones that get mad at the women that then want to be picked in order to try to do the thing that's in their best interest. They're the ones that go off on women that hold down their family and their daughters, and they say, why didn't you start to do things a little bit differently? I don't like the way that your relationship is managed. Meanwhile, they're single baby mamas. Meanwhile, they never had nobody hold them down. Meanwhile, they don't even know what love feel like. They think love is what happens in between their legs, when in reality, love is something much different. It's much different. You ain't never had that godly love. And so when you then view a movie like this, you translate it a little bit differently, but really it just shows how out of order that we are and what it is that we taken as far as information. See, I translated it completely different, right? The best part of the movie was when the mother slapped Sanaa Lathan in her face when she started to go off on her, talking about what she should have did in her marriage, and she didn't appreciate what her mother did for her. The best part of the movie is when the hand talked to the face, when her mother started to get some control, and you see how she snapped back in there. See, sometimes your children get so out of hand, and you got to remind them who you are. Mama been trying to teach her how to be feminine her entire life. You know what she wanted to do? She wanted to play basketball. We playing basketball. She wanted to play basketball. Okay. See, we're going to let you find yourself. We're going to let you explore. We're going to let you figure it out. Cool. Daddy's little girl. Mama's little tomboy. We're going to let you figure it out. Your whole life you've been out of order, chasing something that you only going to make a little bit of money in, that's not actually going to help you become a better version of yourself, that you ultimately going to wind up going back to in the first place. So now God got to take you all through all of this journey. You got to go overseas, be by yourself. Learn the lesson that way. You got to get slapped up by mama in order to be able to put on a dress. Learn that way. If it wasn't for the fact that she had a daddy in her life and a mama that was hard on her the whole time, she probably would have been a lesbian. In the words of my boy Jesse Lee Peterson, she probably would have been a lesbian. Bumping uglies, doing the scissor kick with some girl in the dorm room, right? Because all of them chicks that was in the locker room with her, yeah, that was influencing. Yep, they want to go over there. They want to dribble between the legs. They want to be uninteresting. Ain't nobody in the stands watching them. If it wasn't for him and his homeboys coming in to support him, it wouldn't be nobody in the stands rooting for him, right? Meanwhile, this man is over here having a life event. He going through things. He trying to understand where it is that he at. And you know what she did? She prioritized her career only to beg for him and to yearn for him, because the inherent nature of a woman is to be a helpmeet and to get back in her purpose. And she almost lost her good thing until she seen Tyra Banks. And when Tyra Banks came in with that big smile and them flowers talking about I'm a fiance, and she put her hand out and she got that rock, then you got jealous. I know who you are. I know who you are, black woman. I know who you are. I know who the nature of who you are. I know that you still following and secretly admiring and tracking the movements of the men that you know that you should have married back in the day. And so you still loosely keeping tabs on him because you want to know if this man is still happy, or if someday, somehow he's going to get divorced because he still got your heart. I know who you are, black woman. I know who you are. See, it's lessons. It's lessons in these things that we're not really paying attention to. Think about the things that you should have took out of the movie, but you didn't, and you thought that it was an opportunity for you to empower yourself, but you used it in order to continue to lean into your toxic femininity.